Hi everyone, my name is Rachel and I will be presenting Lemony Snickets, the Green Grotto. Now, the Green Grotto is the 11th installment of a 13-part series by Daniel Handler, who goes by the pen name Lemony Snicket. Now, it entails the lives of the Baudelaire orphans after their house, as well as their parents are consumed by a fire set by Count Olaf, who is their distant relative. Now, ever since then, the Baudelaires have been repeatedly hunted by Count Olaf, who wants to only get their wolf. Now, the Green Grotto starts off where the slippery slope left off, whereby the Baudelaires were hurtling down the stricken stream. Now, the toboggan on which they were traveling is about to give way due to the churning waters of the river, which is a stricken stream. And Violet, at the moment, seems to have failed to come up with an idea of how to survive. So, just in a nick of time, Captain Wintershins aboard the frigate appears, and before entry they are asked for a password, which Violet is able to give, depending on her previous history with the VFD. Now, aboard the frigate, they meet the crew, which is comprised of Captain Wintershins, of course, his stepdaughter, who is Fiona, and Phil, someone whom they've met before from the number mills, from series before. Now, once they are aboard the frigate, Klaus is given the task of decoding a certain map. Now, VFD members all over are looking for something that is called the sugar ball, which apparently has certain secrets which are too important for the organization. Now, Klaus is able to decode the maps and is able to find out where the tape could have carried the sugar ball after its previous location, which is the VFD headquarters, was set ablaze again by the same person who is Count Olaf. Now, once they find the location, turns out the location it's a conical area, which is the Gorgonian Grotto, whereby the submarine cannot fit through and neither could the adults. So the children have to suit up and go into the water, search for it. Now, once they reach the Gorgonian Grotto, after some time of searching, they notice something happening. There are mushrooms sprouting all over the place, which are the Medusoid mycelium, which are very poisonous, by the way. And throughout their search, which was in vain, they are just able to find various random items which don't make sense to them, apart from a news article by the Daily Punctilia, which has a news story, of course, about the Baudelaire orphans and how they've been involved in very many bad happenings, like setting up place of the carnival. Now, after the children done with the fool's errand, make their way back to the submarine. Now, on arriving, they find that it's quite quiet and it looks deserted. So they try as hard as possible to call out Captain Wintershins and Phil, who are obviously not there. Now, another thing they find in the submarine are the two balloons that are tied to chairs with the letters VFD on them. Now, as they search, Klaus notices that Sunny's helmet has a strand of the poisonous mushroom growing on it, so they're set into panic mode and try to look for an antidote. But just before that, Count Olaf appears out of the blue and startles them. Next, what happens? He captures them, takes them onto his submarine, which is currently called the Carmelita, because as the children will find out once they go aboard, there are all these snow skulls that were captured. So, Count Olaf decides to take the children to the brig, where they are going to find the hook-handed man. Now, in the brig where they're supposed to be for interrogation, they find out that Fiona, who is Captain Wintershins' stepdaughter, is the sister to Farland, under the name the hook-handed man. Now, after that revelation, the children tried to ask him to set them free, but he says he could, but on condition that they take him with them. Now, Violet and Klaus at first object, but when Fiona steps in and says, "No, this is my sibling," she plays a sibling card, they're like, okay. Now, as they try to escape, Esme Squala, who is Count Olaf's accomplice, let me call her, who is Count Olaf's accomplice, discovers Fiona and Farland trying to escape, and they stay behind, with Farland covering up for Fiona, saying she's decided to join the crew. Now, when the two Baudelaires make it back to of course with Sun in her helmet, make it back to the frigate, they immediately set to finding an antidote. So they first try to scavenge through Fiona's notes, which are in her note, or in her book. Since she's a mycologist, she keeps all these notes of mushrooms and whatnot. It's called the Mushroom Unity. Now they find the antidote, but it's horseradish, which is currently not available on the submarine. So Violet pleads with Sunny, asking her, Sunny, what could we replace horseradish with? Now it comes out as a horse whisker that they could use wasabi, and luckily enough, they found wasabi while they were searching for the sugar bowl within the Gogonian grotto. Now they give Sunny the wasabi, but just then, after it's a good thing, the telegram starts to work, and they receive this letter from Quigley Quagmire. From Quigley Quagmire, telling them to go to a certain location by Tuesday, which turned out to be the Briny Beach, as Violet and Klaus decoded using various points. Now, what I forgot to say, while in the Carmelita, which is Count Olaf's submarine, they noticed that the crew had on these uniforms with Edgar Guest, unlike the crew of the Quebec, where they were putting on uniforms with Herman Melville. And these two are authors, of which the author of the novel, that is Daniel Handler, definitely prefers Herman Melville. Now, just as the children are finished receiving the telegram, now Olaf appears again, and he keeps taunting them, telling them how the moment he reaches Hotel Denouement, the victory is his. But just then, a certain question mark appears on his sonar, and turns out this is a very big threat. So immediately, he lets go of whatever he was doing and immediately demands that the engines be started so that they could set off. Now, that's also a cue for the Baudelaire orphans to set off their engines and head for the Briny Beach, as we had requested of them. Okay. Now, they reach there. They reach the Briny Beach. They found Mr. Poe, who was their previous guardian, but they have to go by what the message had said, which is to enter the cab they'd find at the beach, enter, and head off to Hotel Denouement with hit snicket. Thank you so much.